Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Kick Media. My name is Brendan Comerford. In today's webinar, we're going to go through part 2 in our webinar series, which is today focused on convert more traffic into leads. So before we get underway, though, I'll just do a sound check. Can everyone just type yes or Y into the chat box, please, if you can hear me loud and clear? Fantastic, excellent. So again, welcome to everyone in the room, whether you are a business owner or a marketing manager. Today is, in my opinion, the most important topic of all marketing strategies. Hands down, every business owner must master this area of marketing for their business if they're going to be successful. And you know, it's one of those, I guess, types of marketing strategies that often gets neglected. You know, we spend thousands of dollars a month in many cases, you know, driving traffic to our site, but little to no effort sometimes is spent on how do I convert that traffic into leads. So look, what does that actually mean? What does converting traffic into leads actually mean? So let's go through that today. It really is quite simple when you think about it. It's really just how can I create compelling reasons to provide me with your contact details. Okay. Now, last week we focused on targeting better quality traffic. In other words, advertising to people highly likely to purchase your product now or in the near future. But there are a few steps before that you need to put in place to convince them to buy from you. Now, unless you have an e-commerce website where people can purchase instantly, you need to convert traffic into a lead by obtaining their contact details. So once you have targeted better quality traffic, the question and goal becomes how can I more easily obtain their contact details, either through a form being filled out on the site or someone just picking up the phone to call you. Now, out of interest, I'll ask people in the room if that's okay. How many people here have an elevator pitch, or in other words, a phone script, which is designed to sell a benefit of providing you with their contact details, either by sending them a catalog or a list of special promotions you have running at the moment? How many people do that? A few? Okay, not many. Well, look, I've mystery shopped lots of businesses by calling them and pretending to be a potential customer, and less than 10% will ever offer to send me something of value or more information, or just simply ask me for my contact details. And I find that quite surprising and such an opportunity lost when you don't do that. I also found that less than 50% of businesses even didn't even answer the phone in the first place, which was quite alarming. And they rely on their voicemail in order to then call them back. Now, I need to tell everyone now that doesn't work. If you rely on voicemail in order to call back interested buyers, it's too late. They will have called 5 other businesses and already made a decision. Okay, so if your main goal is to close the sale the first time they contact you, why do you want to focus on obtaining contact details as part of your inquiry phone script or on-site conversion strategy? Why obtain contact details? Well, the answer is pretty simple. Again, 2 reasons. One, less than 5% of people will contact or buy from you the first time they visit your website. And that's a proven stats. There's actually a Forrester report that's done a study on this. And the question is, if only 5% of people that come to your site are actually contacting you or buying, if you've got e-commerce, what's happening to that 95% of people that visit your website but never contact you? Does that mean they'll never will purchase at any point in the future? No, of course not. They may just be in a different phase of the buying cycle. They're probably you might have a high consideration product, or maybe they're planning for something in the future. You don't know. It obviously depends on the quality and I guess the psychology of the traffic coming to your site in the first place, but you need to figure out how can I increase that 5% to maybe 10%. Now, if you can do that, if you can boost your conversion rate from 5% to 10%, you've just doubled your yearly income from, say, if it's $70,000 to $140,000 a year, just by applying the basics of what I'm about to show you today. Okay, and second reason is less than 20 to 50%, depends on your industry, sometimes less than 10% of people who contact you via the website or by phone will actually buy from you. So your sales conversion rate of the leads that you obtain, if you can increase that from 25% to 50%, you further double your yearly income from now $140,000 a year to $280,000 a year, just by focusing on how to obtain more contact details and be able to convert those people with special offers, which we'll talk about as well today. So pretty good reasons, don't you think, to obviously focus on obtaining contact details as a major focus. So let's look at how we convert more traffic into contactable leads. And there's a few steps in order to do this. First, obviously, implement the fundamentals of CRO, which we'll cover today. CRO stands for conversion rate optimization. So how can we have a higher conversion rate of people who come to your site entering in contact details to find out more information, not just to find out more information, but maybe just to download something of instant value or future redeemable value, or conversion rate in terms of purchasing right now if you have e-commerce. Okay, so important CRO fundamentals. Knowing your online competitors, it's extremely important. If you don't know who they are, you don't know how to compete effectively. So that's the first step. How can you actually find out who they are? I'll show you some tools in which you can do that today. Thirdly, know and understand your audience. If you don't understand your audience, you're not going to know how to communicate effectively with them. And fourthly, you're then also not going to know how to create powerful offers for that audience. So you need to know who that audience is, and I mean understanding the psychology of what they're typing in, understand their buying behavior, their decision-making behavior, how their consideration phases in terms of how long they take to make a decision. All that type of information. There's a few key questions we'll cover today on that. And then obviously finally those powerful offers. We'll go through some examples of that and how you can apply it to your business. So let's start with the fundamentals of CRO, okay? And there's a few things here, and obviously this can be a potentially large topic, but I'm just going to go through the basics. And even if you apply the basics, you will see some pretty big transformations. And I'll go through some examples of real websites I've found on the internet, and we'll go on a bullet point through this list and apply what we see on those websites. But the main principle here is really don't make me look, don't make me think. If you are making your website so convoluted and complicated and cluttered, and your layout's very tricky, and look, it may be clever and may look really cool, but if it's very confusing and you don't want to make them look too much, you don't want to make them think. Okay, so minimize or avoid distractions. Okay, some people have massive navigations that are all over the place, links here and there. They've got lots of different boxes with colorful things popping out, and it causes too much choice causes indecision. Okay, that's why we'll talk about the ability to have optimized landing pages or even conversion websites that are kind of like teaser websites. There's no distractions. There's key information like reading a book. You guide where you want them to look, and you take them on a journey of information focused on the AIDA principle: attention, interest, desire, and action. Okay, but you've got to avoid those distractions. Instant, unique selling benefits. Okay, so what is it that instantly appeals to them? We'll go through and show you how and why you should apply which types of selling benefits based on the next few slides we go through. How you can build more trust. So again, that's a big topic. You might be having pictures of, if you're a family-owned business, having that clearly written somewhere. If you have pictures of your team, put them up there on your website. If you have you've been around for 25 years, say that. If you have testimonials, use that. And that's the next one. Create social proof through testimonials. Build trust. Have a layout that is going through bullet points and illustrates clear benefits. So reasons why people trust you. You need to sell that. Reasons to provide you with contact details. Again, a big topic. What are those reasons? We'll cover that today. You need to work out how, but think about that. A good question to ask yourself: what can I create that is a really compelling reason for someone to give me their contact details? If you can answer that question and think outside the box, you can really transform your business. Create clear, visible, and multiple calls to action on each page. Again, for the people that are in the decision phase of the buying cycle, they know what they want. Don't mess around with them. Make it clear, visible, multiple phone numbers on the same page, generally the top right hand corner and the bottom left with above the scroll of the screen. Creating clear, visible, multiple calls to action on each page. Okay, use bullet point benefits and avoid long copy. Now, obviously you need to have copy for SEO purposes, but you don't necessarily need it to be the first thing you see on the website. Bullet point benefits are very powerful. People don't like to read long copy, and when you follow that AIDA principle of getting their attention through a powerful benefit-driven headline, you then go through the interest, and bullet points are the interest phase of the AIDA principle. Getting their interest, building the desire is having those calls to action or those side copy benefits and offers. So building that desire, and then the action is obviously the limited time offer, call today, or a reason for them to obviously take action. Use relevant landing pages for each query. So when I say query, what people type into Google. So if someone types in, I don't know, some valves for a particular machinery, a specific term for that, you're not going to land them on your homepage. They're looking for a specific term or a specific product. It might be, Barracuda, pool cleaner. So they're looking for a brand of pool cleaner, not just any pool cleaner. Land them on the page that are actually relevant to that search query. Use meaningful images, icons, and videos. Again, I'll show you some websites where that's quite important. So when I say the key word there is meaningful, some people just put iStock photos on this site and it doesn't really mean anything. If you're going to use images, make sure that the image portrays a message, or it confirms or backs up the content on the page. So if you're talking about a concept or a topic or a benefit, have an image that backs that up next to it. Use icons that are self-explanatory. Icons can be very powerful. Videos that are short, sweet, to the point, but have a clear message. A lot of people create videos and there's 20 different benefits and messages, and they have one clear video that's less than 30 seconds, and it's to the point, and it's one message that's memorable and has a clear call to action to it. Okay. Aesthetics. Is your site attractive or ugly? Where most people are naturally drawn to things that visually look beautiful or pretty or attractive, and websites are no different. Okay, so we need to make sure that your websites look good, and a great way to do that is just simply compare your site to your competitors, and I'll show you an exercise on how to do that soon. Split testing headlines, images, calls to action. Using CRO tools like Lucky Orange and Optimizely, and other tools like Unbounce, and there's another one called leadpages.net. Fantastic website, go check it out. Great way to boost your conversions. And obviously Google Analytics has some really cool user visitor flow and in-page analytics tools that you can use to learn about your audience so that you can improve the conversion of your site. So that's covering the basics of CRO. Again, I could do an entire session just on that, but it's something that you need to go through each point and just think about and start applying and coming up with strategies. So what we need to do now is ask ourselves a few questions. The first one is obviously knowing who your online competitors are. Number one key focus is who are they, both online and offline. I'll show you a tool in a second that we can use to figure that out. What are your competitors offering? So when you find out who they are, go to the website and find out what do they offer. What calls to action are they using on their website? Have you called them up? Have you actually mystery shopped them? And we do this from time to time when we find we're struggling with some with sales for a business, and we know that okay, everything else was working. Maybe the people that are showing at the same time as you on Google, they're also receiving the same traffic that you're paying for. So it really comes down to if they're calling you and they're calling 5 of your competitors, you need to know who they are and get on the phone and mystery shop them. I know it sounds a bit sneaky, but sometimes that can be the problem, is they've just got a better offer. And you don't know that until you actually call them. Okay, what is better or worse about your competitors' websites? And the best way to really know that, apart from obviously you going in and knowing your industry really well, is put yourselves in the shoes of your consumers or your potential clients, and go and ask some friends and family or someone unbiased, I guess, and ask them how does our website compare to our competitors' websites, and actually give them a list of websites to look at and get some honest feedback. Which websites which website out of these 5 do you trust? Why? What is it about each website that appeals to you? You need to get some surveys in place and start really finding out. And I guess the best way to do it is just ask a group of people, 5 or 10 people, to give you honest opinions about your website. And that's the best conversion rate optimization strategy anyone can possibly do. Okay, and it's so simple. Another tool you can use is called Auction Insights. to learn who your competitors are online, and then be able to have a direction on where to start analyzing. And let me show you that. Here, this is available within your Google AdWords account, and you can do it on a keyword level, meaning if you're finding out what your top keyword is and actually seeing which of your competitors are showing at the same time as you, and what percentage market share are they getting online compared to you? What is the overlap rate? So you can do it on a keyword level, or you can do it based on your entire keyword list on every keyword in your account. Okay, so in this case, it's hotels. I don't know this company. I just got a random one off the internet I found, but it's an example of what you'll see. So you being obviously your business, and then it'll show all your competitors that are appearing for that keyword or group of keywords. And impression share is really important. When you go into your account, when you find this, you can hover over it to learn more about it, but it basically means the percentage of the traffic available for these keywords. What percentage of the time are you displaying to that traffic? Okay, so it's kind of an indicator of how much visibility you have to the total available search volume on Google. And you can see here they're appearing to 79% of it. Okay, so there's a reason why they're not displaying to the remaining amount, and it's either due to budget or rank. And there's another section you can go to work that out. But this is really good because you can see, compared to your competitors, what your market share is in terms of visibility. And this is pretty good. Now, what's also important is what is the overlap rate. So these are going to be your top competitors here, 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 and here, because they're showing 60, 65, 30, 32% of the time. Anything below that is obviously less important because they're not showing as much as you, but you want to see what is the overlap rate. So here you can see these potential competitors are showing, these two showing 74% of the time you're showing, and 40 and 30. So these are your top 4 competitors. Now, you may not know that just by doing random Google searches or knowing Joe Blog down the road also does what you do. This is data to make an intelligent decision about who you should be mystery shopping. You should be looking at these top 4 or even top 10 if you want to, and seeing, okay, well, look, I'm competing against these people because they're showing at the same time as me. The traffic I'm paying for is also going to their website. And then the position above. So of the people that are showing more often, obviously this booking.com is their #1 online competitor. They're showing above them 85% of the time. So you can be absolutely assured that they're going to be receiving the same traffic to their website as you are. So you need to investigate their website, know exactly what they're doing with a fine-tooth comb, and try and create a better site, basically, is the goal. So a really simple way to do some competitor research online. Okay. All right, next. So now, part of knowing and understanding your audience is asking some other critical questions. Sorry, let me just clear my. I don't know how to do that. Okay, so early research, comparison, or decision phases. So we need to make sure that you understand what type of traffic you're receiving to your website. Give you an example of that. Early research is someone who doesn't know what they want. They kind of have questions to ask. Give you an example. It might be if you're a carpet cleaner, you may be paying for traffic who don't necessarily want a carpet cleaner yet, but they're typing in the question into Google, how do I get stains out of carpet? They're in the early research phases of the buying cycle. So that sometimes can be a viable way of advertising, is to people that don't know what they want yet, but there's a high chance that they may use your service. Okay, I generally do that last, however. I'd rather pay for comparison traffic and decision-based traffic first. So what is comparison traffic? They know what they want, but they want either the best price or they want to find someone they trust. Simple as that. Okay, and they're looking at multiple websites to compare. Okay, and an example of that might be you may have a company and you may have 2 websites, and we've done this with a client before where they've had one website that is really focused on high brand trust. They look reputable, they've got a brand image, they look like a franchise almost, and then they had another site that was a kind of a cheap local looking site. It didn't have a real brand name behind it, and it had their person's name in the URL or something, and it just looked like someone down the road, local, friendly, trustworthy, but they're not a big business. Now they were the same company, but they wanted to test which website would work better. Because the people that are in the comparison phase of the buying cycle, they're comparing different websites. You need to know what people actually want, what type of business they want to deal with. And that was an effective strategy for them. They were catching people that wanted the cheap traffic, the cheap provider for the local service type guy, but they also captured the higher, I guess, price audience who wanted trust, and they wanted, willing to pay a premium for someone they thought was obviously a good quality service or reputable company. And then obviously have decision phases. So in that, people that want it right now, they're impulsive shoppers. The goal there is you don't muck around with these people. You provide them with relevant results and make it easy for them to act. Okay, and we'll talk about that in a second. Sorry, I don't know how to get rid of this yellow line here. Maybe I do. Okay, so we're up to consumable single or repeat purchase products and services. So here, obviously, there's a few different strategies in this line alone. So if you have a consumable product, you need to have a certain strategy with different calls to action and compelling offers for that audience. If you are attracting people that are single or repeat purchase products, or that's just the industry you're in, then you need to have some pretty compelling offers for people to act right now. If you know that this is your only time that you're ever going to be able to convert them into a client or a customer, you need to act now. Repeat purchase products and services, so not necessarily a consumable item, but they purchase from you on a regular basis and they buy multiple products from you. There's different strategies for that. Let me see if I can clear this. I'm just going to see if I can clear the pen on here. Sorry, I don't know how to do it. Oh, no idea. Okay, sorry, I haven't used this webinar software very long. Interesting. Okay, no, there's no way to clear that. Anyway, we'll continue. What is the lifetime value of a new customer? So this is the best product to advertise online, because the cost of acquiring a client suddenly becomes much more profitable if you know that they're going to be a repeat purchase client, or that that there's you're in an industry where referrals are going to be more likely. So you need to value what the cost of a click is now compared to having that client for the next 5 to 10 years or longer. And that allows you to help design your compelling offers and your conversion strategy by understanding your audience. What are their consideration phases and conversion lengths? So when I say consideration phase, we talked about that last week. Do you sell a high price ticket item or a luxury item, so it takes longer to make a decision? Are you in a technical industry where there's a lot of education required for people to make a decision about the product or service? Are you in a high competitive brand industry where it takes, a lot of people are obviously indecisive about what brand to go for, and obviously that takes a bit of research. So there's a few phases in terms of consideration, and again, watch the webinar from last week if you want to learn more about that. But you need to understand that, and the conversion lengths. So a conversion length is how long does it take someone to make a decision, and a lot of people don't know that. They assume that when someone calls them straight away, they are making a decision right now to buy. It doesn't mean that. They may have been to your site 5 times over the last 3 weeks before they even picked up the phone to call you. So you don't know what your consideration length is unless you have really good quality structure set up in your Google Analytics account, and we can actually have tracking metrics to know what is the time path to a conversion. So when they first visited your website, to when they first contacted you, to then when they first obviously made a purchase. You need to know what those conversion lengths are, so you can design remarketing banners, you can design your email marketing sequences, and know which offers to present in different sequences over that period of time. So important information if you're going to develop a really good conversion strategy into a lead or into a sale. Is the search behavior easy to target, or is it ambiguous? Now, there are industries where you know who your audience is. You can get out the yellow pages, you can go on the internet, and you can make an easy list of who your potential customers are. Some industries don't have that luxury. If you're again using the carpet cleaning example, if you're a carpet cleaner, your audience is everyone. everyone who lives in a house with carpet. There's no easy way to filter that down to find out who they are and where they are in terms of being potentially interested now. It's too big a bucket of potential leads. If you're in an industry, however, where let's say that you sell, pallet racking or pallet jacks, you know that you can target your audience because it's any business that has a warehouse. Now, that's easy to do. Just go on Google Earth and do a search and find commercial industrial areas and get on Street View and walk through the streets and find people that have big warehouses, and they're your audience. You know who they are. You could build a database straight away. So again, who is your audience and how can you target them? Some industries are ambiguous in terms of the keywords that they're typing in certain keywords, and maybe 20% of them is interested in your service, and maybe the 80% of them are not. They're just doing information research. So is your audience easy to target? Again, last week we covered that, but you need to know that in order to know how to develop a conversion offer. How much relevant and motivated search volume is available? Now, this is an important question that's often not asked. A lot of people just assume I need to do better advertising or better targeting. Look, sometimes it's just not enough motivated people looking right now. The demand for searching for your service just isn't there, especially if you're in a local area. We've got clients all over the place, and sometimes you're in regional areas, and there's just not enough search volume. So, that can be a challenge. And if that's an issue for your industry, you need to look at, well, how can I target people in the early research phases? As I said here, early research phases of the buying cycle. I'll change color to red here. And if they're asking questions, how do I remove carpet stains? They're not actively typing in carpet cleaners Brisbane or Sydney or Melbourne. They're typing in an early research question. So maybe you have to go a bit broader and target these people, and then you need to have a different type of offer for them instead of having calls to action based on price. They're not interested in that. You may have to have a call to action that's focused on a downloadable guide on how to remove stains from carpets. Give them the information they want. You've now got their contact details. You can then call them up and convince them why it's better. You might as well just use our services instead. So you're still able to target an audience, but convert them into a potential lead that is then into the comparison or decision phases. Okay, so again, a few things to think about for your business. Know your industry saturation point of demand for location and make two decisions. A, expand geographically, or create some more branded satellite sites. And we do that quite often. You can have, we have clients that are appearing 3 or 4 times on the front page of Google for different websites and different accounts. They're just taking up more real estate, and it is a sneaky yet plausible and very effective strategy if you are struggling with one site to get enough leads because your audience is not unlimited. It's finite, and you need to get a high conversion rate, and that's often a powerful strategy. But you only do that if you're in a position where, there's only so much relevant and motivated search volume available. All right. The most important part of today's webinar is creating powerful offers for your audience. It really comes down to a few different techniques and strategies, but the goal is really, more leads equals more sales. So how do we get more leads? Okay, now the first one is focused on techniques and strategies for people in the early research or information traffic phases of the buying cycle. And in this case, as I said before, you need to create downloadable products and price catalogs. So people that don't know what they want, they may be interested in your services potentially, but there's still a lot of questions they have. They don't know really what products they want. So you need to have something that helps them in that decision-making process in the early research phases. How-to guides, more so for the information traffic, white paper documents. It is a push marketing strategy. It's not someone actively looking for your product or service straight away, but there's a high chance that they may be interested. So, how to clean something, or how to, 5 steps to choosing the right home loan, or, a white paper document on, the highest paying careers if you're looking to do a business degree. White paper documents to guide people on that information searching phase of the buying cycle. Comparison or long consideration traffic. So again, over the phone or downloadable limited time offers. This is something that you really need. It's a bit of an art form you need to really test. Give you an example of that. When I called a company once to get new tires for my car. I was extremely impressed because they said over the phone, well, firstly on their website, it had wheel alignment offer this week only with every new set of tires. So there was an offer on their website. When I called them, they confirmed that offer and said, look, if you book it in today for this week, we'll do a free wheel alignment valued at $150 free. And they had me. Normally it was an extra so much to get the tires and then pay for the wheel alignment. And they had an urgency, a limited time offer on that. So again, I was in the consideration phase. I was ready to call 5 people to get 5 different quotes, but he had me on the first call. So if you've got a really powerful offer, go to position 1 or 2 because you want to be able to get that offer out straight away so that there's no need or reason for them to go and start comparing you to everyone else. If you can capture them on that first powerful offer, you can really dominate your audience there. And yeah, they also said, look, I'll send you the email. I'll send you a voucher by email with the free wheel alignment, but make sure you bring it in before the end of the week. And you know what? I did. It worked. They had me. So redeemable vouchers. So obviously over the phone, downloadable limited time special offers, redeemable vouchers that can be used before X date or any time in the future works extremely well. And another example of this, I was reading about a company in the States who had an offer on, they were obviously a jewelry company focusing on selling diamond rings. And they offered a free silver bracelets as a downloadable voucher redeemable on the purchase of a diamond ring at any time in the future. Now, why did they do it based on any time in the future? Well, all I could really understand from that is that maybe men deciding to propose can take quite a long time. In fact, I've got friends shopping for diamond rings 6 months ago, still haven't popped the question. So again, powerful, clever marketing, because why? They understood their audience. They asked the key questions to say, what are their behaviors? What is their consideration lengths? And design an offer to suit that audience. Okay. So think about it for your business. What is a redeemable voucher that can be used at any time that's in exchange for contact details? And you'll be surprised how effective that can be for your business. Consumable and repeat purchase traffic. So VIP loyalty memberships for trade prices or lifetime discounts works quite well. Upsell and cross-sell your services, products, and reorder benefits. So what are the benefits of reordering right now? Consider productizing your services into an automated subscription. Actually, I'll show an example of a plumber who's done that really well that I found yesterday. I'll bring that up in a second. So in this, you can start thinking outside the box. It might be that if you sell stationery, or whether you're a plumber, or whether whether you're a carpenter, you need to figure out, how can I create loyalty for regular customers or repeat purchase customers? How can I have them reorder from me more frequently? And there's lots of strategies, but the best delivery of special offers like this is via email marketing, remarketing, postal, and phone. Okay, and find a way to convert more traffic into contactable leads. Really, that's what it comes down to. A few more decision makers. So the last one is, how do we have offers for people that are in the decision-making phase of the buying cycle? Well, relevant landing pages. You don't, like I said, you don't want to mess around with these people. They know what they want. They've typed in, digital camera or they've typed in Nikon SLR 5000. They know what camera they want. They're not typing in digital cameras, so don't land them on your homepage all about digital cameras. Land them on the page of the specific model they typed into Google. So relevant landing pages. Make it easy to find and easy to act. So don't overload your landing pages with so much information. Keep it straight to the point, focused, and then a teaser information. So download, if you're selling Nikon SLR 5000 cameras, what is it I can offer them to contact us today? So it might be, download our voucher for 10% off Canon accessories, redeemable at any time in the future. Download it now and print it out and bring it in store. If you have a store, or here's a promo code that's available for the next 7 days that you can use to get 10% off pricing over the next off any Canon digital camera accessories. So again, or a free camera bag if you purchase before this date. So again, you need to think of special offers. It doesn't always have to be discounting. What can you do? It's all perception. Clearly visible daily or weekly special offers, again, work really well. And split test those calls to action and offers. And look, here's some examples. Instead of just having a live chat, have a live chat now for today's special pricing. Just a play on words on your website can make a big difference. Free TomTom GPS with every car service booked today only. If you want to update your site every day, I don't know if anyone would do that, but again, you can certainly update banners on a regular basis for different offers. Reorder your stationery today and receive a free box of A4 paper. Again, I don't know the answer to your business. You need to start thinking creatively and put yourselves in the shoes of a consumer. And if you're looking to purchase this product, what would be attractive to you? And don't just think of yourself. Ask your friends and family and do a survey. Ask them, if you were looking to purchase this product or service, what would motivate you to make a decision right now? And give them some examples and let them choose and start surveying what would be a really good call to action. Now, that's the best place to start is ask people you know. Then once you have those answers and you have down to 3 potential choices, then we can do split testing using tools like Optimizely, or just updating your site on a weekly basis just to see what worked better from one week to the next. Okay, so always have your offers available via download. Firstly on your website via download, email, and print. Always ask for a phone number, email, and postal address with a compelling reason for each person to supply those details to you. So again, remember that's just a summary of what I went through before. When I called to get new tires for my car, the guy was amazing on the phone, probably the best sales pitch I've ever heard. He said, "Look, I tell you what, we've got a deal this week you might want to take advantage of. We're doing a free wheel alignment with every tire with tires that you buy, and generally you get caught out. You buy the tires and then and after you've bought them, then they tell you that you need to get the wheel alignment and it's an extra X amount. Don't get caught out. You need to know that. But look, we've got an offer that you get it free this week." So I've built trust through giving them education and honesty, and a few tips, and I've given them an amazing offer to take action with a limited time on it this week. Most people procrastinate and put things off until you have a compelling reason for them to get off their butt and do something. So again, conversion into a lead, but also into a sale, which we'll also talk about in the next webinar. So I think that's it for today. So I'll just jump onto, let me just set it up. I'm just going to jump onto my browser, and I'm going to show you some examples of websites that I've just gone through and analyzed, and we'll get some ideas on how we can apply this in real life scenarios. And I know today's webinar is a little bit long, but it is a very important and important topic for most businesses. Yes, okay, great, excellent. So I've done a search here for electricians, just out of interest, random. None of these are our clients, just wanted to show you some random ones. And we'll just go through and analyze these sites. Now this one's, it looks quite good. It's there's good and bad of each site, and I'll go through the pros and cons and pick some things out. So look, the phone number is nice and big, great. A different color would have been nice just to stand out. 1 hour emergency response time guarantee, great. Instant benefit, so that's really powerful, having instant benefits. Let me just go back to my list of CRO fundamentals. So they've covered that. The structure of the site's pretty good. They've got a form here that's short, not too long. That's good. Something to make it pop a bit better would be nice. It just blends into the blue of the background a little bit too much. Obligation-free quote. Look, it's not bad. What could make that better? Quick replies in 5 minutes, or fast quotes. Most people don't like to fill out quote forms unless they know how long it's going to take to get a reply, because often they assume it's going to take 24 to 48 hours to get a reply. So that would make that convert a little bit better. Don't know what this means. Quilla. Again, the images. This is a great image. This one, don't know the relevance. It's not a meaningful image. Okay, that's a meaningful image. That really isn't. And yeah, that's not too bad. Again, the images could be better. They've got obviously residential, domestic, commercial, and they've got a list here. What would be better? Icons. Icons or buttons that are very clear and have an image that make it self-explanatory for the different types. It's just not clearly listed here, all the different services very well on their homepage. Live chat's great. I'll show you a better one soon. Like us on Facebook, yeah, not a big deal. Let's have a look at whether this is the landing page or not. Let's go through a few others. This one, there's no real images. There's no real trust building. You need a quality electrician. Talk is cheap. I need to see images. Show me. At least here they had an image that built trust. It showed me they're a real team. There's some real people, and they've got a few vans here. So look, they're not just a backyard operator that from a trust perspective, it's there. Here, there's nothing. Look, the site looks kind of unique, I guess. But the form is great. It's from that perspective, it's good. It's simple. It's a teaser page. There's no distractions, which is good. But it's missing a lot of the trust elements in here. Okay, and from a brand perspective, it'd still work, but it's not ideal. Let's have a look at this one. This one looks, again, like a local supplier. It's got his full name in there. Not really it's not really that compelling, is it? It's not it's not the most attractive site. Great brand building or trust building slider here. That's really good. There's no social proof of testimonials. This is good. I like this, but it's a bit too far down the page. Again, bullet points are fine. Let's have a look at some other sites. This is one that I particularly like the most. Now these guys do electrical. I think they do plumbing as well. I'm not sure. But this one's a great site. Look at the phone number clearly stands out. A picture of a friendly person there. I would have preferred to make that a real-looking person as opposed to an iStock photo image, but that's okay. It still looks natural and friendly. They're obviously wearing a Fallon, the right T-shirt, so that's good. If they made that a bit higher so you could see the logo on the T-shirt, would have been great. Save time, call us today. Call a reason to call. It's not just a phone number, and this is fantastic. Make a booking. So you've got a phone number and another call to action straight away. Really good. I like this icons, and it's really simple. It's not confusing in any way. Okay, what do I need? I need a plumber. I need gas fitting. I need this. Click on what you need. Really good. Bit of SEO work there. Book now. Great. See at the bottom, book now and get $40 off. Learn more. Fantastic. Need help? See, this is a great live chat icon. Our operators are offline, but fill out a form. So there's a little bit more selling content in there. And this is really good. $40 job discount. Click here. What happens if I do click there? Let's have a look. Get a $40 discount on any trade. Book a job with us today and we'll give you $40 discount. And there's a promo code in which to do that. Fantastic. Service guarantee. Great. Even if they don't read it, it doesn't matter. It's the fact that they're saying it and it's believable. This is what I like. They've turned the home protection plan, they've productized their service, and they've turned a normal one-off service into a yearly annual package, $99 a year. I don't know if it works for them, but great thinking. I think it's fantastic. And you've got a home protection plan. So that's really clever. I'd be curious if that works really well for them. Something worth trying. So look, this is a great example of CRO. They've done a really good job here. Let's have a look at this one. Jet Set, great. Phone number's nice and big. They've got an interesting, I wonder if this works. They're offering a holiday. That's a little bit corny and cheesy to me, but if it works, great. So it's competition, book to enter, book a job to enter. Fine. The call to action, though, this really should be up here. It's below the scroll. Hurry, limited offer, and it's a bit hard to read that text, isn't it? It's not really easy to read. So design-wise, it could be better. And there's no real clear service benefit, is there? Straight away. This one's nice. Which plumbing service do you need? Again, clearly not cluttered in any way. It's simple. I know what service I want. I can go straight to it. And there's benefits. Speak to. So there's a call to action. We know that they're 7 days a week. Some people operate 7 days a week, but they don't say that on their website. You need to do that. Phone number, it's up there. It's a little bit too high. It's not too bad. This one is a little bit of a challenge. Probably good for mobiles, click to call, but again, okay, I found the phone number, but it wasn't instantly visible. It should have been up here. So this is an issue with this site. Logo on the left side, not really conventional. The image is huge. It's a real estate that is taken up where you could have some valuable selling information on there to build trust and calls to action. Read more. Not a great website at all. Okay, it really needs to. You could be spending a lot of money and wasting a lot of that traffic. Bell Plumbing. Again, same issues. This is a nice one. Again, I like this icon here, 24/7, so I know I can call them 24 hours a day. It's got a personal appeal to it, so it's a mobile phone, so I'm going to talk to a real person, not an answering service. The form stands out in pink, great. Not the most attractive, but it'll do the job. Trust factors is obviously a van there, so I can see there they look like a reputable brand. And what I really love is an instant benefit. So let's go through the list. So simple, uncluttered site layout, tick. Minimize and avoid distractions. Yeah, that's not too bad. Instant, unique selling benefits, great, guaranteed work at a price that is right. Okay, instant selling benefit. How do you build trust? Probably some pictures of friendly people would be nice, or some, been around, 20 years or whatever the benefit is there. Social trust, social proof, so maybe a testimonial from a client just below here would be nice. Reasons to provide your contact details. Again, not great, it's just to contact us. Okay, you need something different. Clear, visible, multiple calls to action. Phone number, tick. They got the phone number twice, tick. That's good. Bullet points, a little bit. They got the bullet points here, but that should be really up here, I think. Headline, bullet points, and then copy. I know SEO says to have copy above the scroll, but I don't think that makes much difference nowadays. I would rather have clear benefits, and even here, I prefer this concept back here of blocked services, or the Fallon one where they've got the services clearly visible, as opposed to this here, bathrooms emergency. I'd rather use this instead of just using that as a services list. I'd use that as a unique selling benefits, okay, with icons as opposed to ticks. There's a bit more effort in there, and I'd have blocks as opposed to a list. You're wasting a bit of real estate here. I'd use blocks and take up that real estate a little bit easier. Okay. So that covers a lot of that. Now you can use a service called Lead Pages to do a lot of this for you. Fantastic site. There's another called Unbounce, but I find Lead Pages a little bit more expensive, but the pages look fantastic. Play the video, have a look through this. Highly recommend considering this for creating additional conversion sites or satellite sites, in addition to your website. Not to replace your website, but to create some additional sites. I thought I'd just end on that as a quick tip for today. So hopefully that helps. So go through, compare your sites to your competitors, work out how you can increase your conversion into contactable leads, and do the same, not just with your website, but with emails, with remarketing, with your phone scripts, and create some really unique offers and stand out from the pack, and you should do really well in your business. So thanks for listening today, guys, and we'll talk to you again in the new year. Last webinar for the year, so have a great Christmas, a great New Year's, and we'll see you all in January. Okay, thanks. Bye for now.